now Kewl and Yumi. So Krizix and Yelty are trying to essentially knock them off the top of the stool right now and maybe put in a little bit of a shift, a little bit of a ticket as Krizix is gonna jump in the box. Yumi and Kewl have to be careful. The drop into the back end. Yumi and Kewl are down. First place is wide open, possible for the taking, as Yelty and Krizix have taken them down here. Teams like Favs and Snacky now actually have somewhat of a chance.
315 points, give or take a couple, is what they ended on. Snacky and Favs, we're sitting at about 251, give or take a couple. That is going to be a lot of elims, and they need to win. If they do not win, they do not win. They're going to be second, maybe third. But now, the tournament rides on them for the first place team. Kewl and Yumi's tournament, whether they walk out of here FNCS champions for NA West, rides on former FNCS champions of Snacky and Favs.
This is what it all comes down to. 315 is the exact line that we saw on NA East, being able to bring the exact same line total of teams in. We saw teams start at 260 as well on NA East and make their way up, like Team of Commandment and Avery. Can Favs and Snacky do the same exact team and compete also to bring the greatest game of NA West FNCS Finals history that we have ever seen? Teams like Caesar and Trap as well, still trying to fight for that top tier placement here today as well. Trying to take shots around this area. Cry Pass and Diego going down in the elimination feed. Huge elims, big fights are brewing, and this is just the beginning of the end here, Clay.
And for everybody that can't contend for first place, it's how much money can you get right now? How big can your play be? I mean, it goes back to our trivia question of who went from 66 to 6 at the World Cup. That's Crew. Showing that, hey, even though it's the final game, it still matters a lot. Batman Booga, 9th place, could get substantially more money if they make it into that top 5, and that's what they want to do. Right now, looking for elims, don't have a lot. Jelty and Krizix trying to break into that top 10. They took down first place. Cypress and Defiable trying to hold their top 10 spot. Jelty and Krizix just look to stay up together. And as I say that, unfortunately, they're going to fall to the same thing that's been plaguing them the entire day. Not paying attention to their rotations and the people behind them on it. Krizix going to go down, Poppin going to fall as well. Jelty trying to make their way on in, but unfortunately gets taken down, 25 HP. Does that med misstuffs have builds? Will they have time to pop it? Yes, they find a little pocket.
Just a little bit of room, air to breathe. But that air to breathe is starting to be contested, compressed down. As you can see, everyone down there below the ridge is starting to feel that heat, that pressure start to immense. Meanwhile, Notch and Zeno, our Game 4 Victory Royalers, are now lurking towards that high ground. That's how we saw them take home that Victory Royale in Game 4 alongside 12 elims at that point. Meanwhile, Trap and Caesar are trying to fight for their own glory, their own positioning here in the back end of zone. They're able to find that elimination as well. That's on to Yelty. And now, for teams like Snacky and Favs trying to rotate on through, they need to pick up elims now or never.
They're trying to do it mid going to go down to zone. Batman Booga all solo. Builds remaining 9th place. Again, hasn't moved much. 3 eliminations. Trap and Caesar were 19th in day number 1 at the end of it. Now 5th.
They're looking mighty good. Down there in the mid-ground position, Defiable and Cyphers, 10th place at the moment, have taken over that high ground layer. Meanwhile, Caden, Ox, and Chris kind of lurking there, but found their drop down. Snacky and Favs, mid-ground, have taken over the point of attack. So they're trying to find every elim that they could possibly get. They take down the knock on a Zeno as well. Meanwhile, Notch finds the elimination onto a par as well. So the elim feed continues to dwindle down even more as teams realize the battle that is on the line here.
Everybody looking for shots. Caesar and Trap. Cool zone. They get a moment to breathe. Trap fighting everybody. It seems Snacky gonna go down. This Fast still up. Yes, he is. Tries to get elimination. Will find one. Who's around him? Big Elim's coming through. Snacky not able to help more than giving the call-outs. We'll get the siphon there for Fabs. Will they find any HP? They're lurking. Yes, extra chug splashes. Yes, extra med miss. Yes, extra med kits. What can they find, though? A victory royale may be found for Defiable and Cyphers, and that'll catapult them into the top 5 if they're able to do so. 7th place right now. Fabs does have 1 med miss remaining. 110 HP for them to spin in zone. They're trying to get through 41 builds. Here's the builds coming out. Stop the med miss for now. They're able to get to the front of zone. It seems like they need every elimination in the victory right now to get to first place. For them, it seems like they're going to end in third. Zaki and Fabs are out. That means Kewl and Yumi are your FNCS NA West champions for this chapter 2, or for this season rather. Defiable and Cypress look to close it out on top.
They're looking to close it out here. Everything is still filing below as far as placements go. All from up to 2nd place is still down. Everyone down there in the cluster of low ground, all in the battle. And Jagveer is fragging out down there. Meanwhile, Defiable and Cypers up here on the high ground are just witnessing all fall below them. They could find these elims and continue to rank their way up towards the placements. Meanwhile, as you have Comeback and Jagveer down still, controlling all below them. Down here on the low ground, Dom still right above them, trying to control right above. Meanwhile, that zone is starting to go up. You have teams like Taotai trying to play a little bit lower, possibly a spoiler around there, playing safely. 30 builds remaining as he needs to find this layer. Height continues to rain fire, and here we go, Clay. This is where all chaos ensues.
Shots continue to go through. Players running out of builds, running out of space. Taotai trying to just clutch up any little points they can. 20th place, trying to break in. Cypress right there in front of Defiable, trying to find any sort of heals. The kids goes to heal off Taotai. 40 HP player in his box. Shot's going to connect. That's going to be elimination there for them. 2 a.m. Dom will fall at 2v1. Comeback day 2, and Jagger going to go for the high ground here. Going to try to take it away, but not going to be able to do so. Defiable on the other side. We'll watch that player go down the zone. Will they get the siphon? Yes, they will. Heal off will be secured by them. Can they continue to fight for the high ground? Yes, they have enough materials. Jagger up above. Defiable does have floppers. He needs to pop that flop, and flop he does pop. Jagger up above needs to find any sort of room in the zone, has to drop down, realizes they cannot continue to hold for the high ground. Reload from Defiable. Shots will go through. Jagger tries to make a play, but unfortunately Defiable going to clutch it up. 12 eliminations right now, looking to get 13 for the duo and the victory royale. Defiable up above will more than likely be able to clutch it up. Taotai trying to play that shot, but the zone's going to play him. Defiable for the victory royale.
A beautiful play
in first. I mean, this is such a drastic change from what we're used to, guys.
Yeah, wow. Look at that. That top 5, Panda and Ben. I mean, you had Bacon and Zeus go from 2nd all the way to 5th, but you still had Snacking Favsies move themselves up. But Defiable and Cypers, what a great last game for them, putting themselves in 4th place. I mean, all 5 of these teams should be just extremely proud of the placement they gained today.